Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which is set to release onto the Nintendo Switch this winter. And today we're going to be checking out the fact that Tetsuya Nomura had a brand new interview with VII, an Italian website, where they basically went ahead and discussed whether this game is actually going to be a full remake or a remaster, or what the actual plans were during development as to be able to get it to become the best product that it could possibly be. Let's remember that Final Fantasy VII Remake and then Integrated were a little bit criticized regarding not just the visuals originally when it launched on PlayStation 4, but then eventually back on the PlayStation 5, as a lot of people were still discussing the fact that the game has some visual shortcomings at the end of the day. While character models were extremely, good looking and stuff like that, some of the areas and other details were certainly not up to par. So it created a lot of discussion whether it was really a remaster, a remake, although for the most part, I think most people ended up agreeing that a remake was the proper terminology to call that game. But when it comes to Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, this is a different story, since they basically have admitted that this is a lot of the core of the PSP game has actually been reworked for this new releases, not only for the Nintendo Switch, but also I believe it's coming to Xbox, certainly PlayStation and PC as well. So in the interview with VII for the Italian website, I'm going to leave a link in the description below for that, as Tetsuya Nomura basically answered one of the questions regarding whether they call it a remake or a remaster. The response was, "We had mixed feelings on it as we weren't sure about the best way to describe the project. At one point there was a discussion about calling it a remake or a remaster. I think the product is closer to the definition of a remaster, as the story wasn't changed at all and it'll always remain the same game. On the technical side, however, the graphics have been completely renewed, the models have been remade from scratch, many scenes in the original were only subtitled which are now dubbed, and also the combat system has been updated. We are still uncertain on the team that better describes the game, which is the reason why we use the word reunion. It's really complicated, it's as much more than a remaster, but at the same time it's not a complete remake." So basically that is their logic at the end of the day. They're leaning more towards a remaster, which I think is the proper description for the game at the end of the day, than basically a complete remake, which seems to be what Episode 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake actually is going to be looking out to be, where they're basically going to be reworking the open world, since the original game introduced that originally, but of course it was limited to just the PlayStation 1, and now they're going to be trying to do something a little bit different in that regard. But that's about all the details that I wanted to go over for you guys today. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing this game not just released on the Nintendo Switch, but to see it actually how they're actually going to be handling some of the story aspects, and if they're going to try to reconnect it once again to the remake, which is set to release next year. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.